Hello, Fabulous Virgo. Welcome to your horoscope for the month of August 2016, General Focus. I am your astrologer, Nadiya Shah. Thank you for being here. What an incredible month it is, and in many ways, it is just setting you up for an even more incredible month coming up in the month of September. September is going to be huge for you. We've got an eclipse in September in your sign. We've got an eclipse in your opposite sign. It really is going to be one of those life-changing and positively life-changing time frames for you, setting you up for even bigger blessings coming up further than September as well. So some of that I've talked about in the Jupiter Special Horoscope. You can go onto my website or go on to nadiyashah.vhx.tv to have an early look at that, or just wait for it to come out on YouTube. So that's one thing, right? That's about the even bigger picture. And as far as what's coming up with these eclipses next month, I'll be talking about that in your next month's horoscope, of course. But that doesn't mean that there isn't a whole lot happening right now, a whole lot that is beautiful, that is bold, that is brave, and that is set to put you on the path to take full advantage of the beautiful and big changes coming up for you once we get you into next month and beyond. So part of this is about what starts now and continues into next month. Part of this is what closes now, what comes to a close. So let's take it one step at a time. I want to start with the eclipse happening this month. Now, what's special about this eclipse is normally we get two eclipses back to back, right? 2 weeks apart. And you've kind of been used to this over the last couple of years. Over the last couple of years, you have had eclipses taking place in your sign and your opposite sign. That's kind of how, like, scientifically it works, okay? I'm not a scientist, I'm an astrologer, so I won't get into all that boring science stuff, although I think you could keep up. But let's say right now, what this is ultimately indicating is that the energy is starting, slowly but surely, starting to move. This is going to be one of the last series. It won't be the ultimate, but one of the last series times you're going to see an eclipse in your sign and your opposite sign, okay? So keep that in mind, because now the energy is starting to shift. The eclipses will start to move to the sign just before yours and the sign just before your opposite sign. That's kind of how the sky works. So having said that, this is one of those moments that is setting you up for these big, beautiful changes coming up for you personally, and important changes in the way you understand yourself next month. But it's also giving you an indication of how it is that your life will change in positive ways, not only now, but in the coming couple of years. And that is thanks to this eclipse, giving you that glimpse to look ahead. Now, this eclipse is happening in a part of the sky for you that has to do with your health. It has to do with your work as well, like your workplace or the work you do, your work assignments. If you're self-employed, it has to do with, again, just the grind of the work, but also your clients as well, the types of projects you work on, all of that. So this is a very positive eclipse. And what's rare right now is it is the first of 3 eclipses. Again, normally they come back to back, and it's 2 weeks is eclipse season. This time 4 weeks is eclipse season, which means there are lots of blessings, there's heightened intuition for all of us, and because this particular eclipse is so positive, it does suggest that the positive vibes will be continuing. You will be feeling them, especially once we get to mid-month and beyond. So this to me is about this positive conversation that Uranus is having with this eclipse. Says great turnarounds, fortunate endings. It's a lunar eclipse. It's a full moon eclipse, which does suggest things coming to fruition, things coming to a close, things coming full circle as well, right? Makes sense, the symbolism. So what this suggests to me is, in a matter of health, you could experience a wonderful leap forward, some really good news, and some positive developments all around. So if you've had an ongoing health matter, this can be some very good news in regards to that. Some wonderful closures, and I said wonderful developments, moving towards feeling better, being better as well. There is also an indication here that if it isn't something ongoing, this can just be the change of a habit, okay? Maybe it's related to something that you do sort of on a daily basis. It could be related to what you eat, what you ingest is possible with this as well. but some positive change coming about. So if there's any kind of health advice that you are trying to get or wanting to get, this is a good time to be open to it and letting it find you, because there's a very surprise element, positive surprise element to this eclipse taking place. And where it comes to your workplace, look, it is going to be busy. There very likely will be changes, positive changes. It's possible that a coworker leaves, okay? It looks happy, it looks positive, so it might be that coworker that you kind of want leaving anyways. This could also be, as I said, your assignments changing, your projects changing, clients coming or going, very possible with this energy. But ultimately, these are endings you're happy about. You are grateful for. There are a million ways that endings are ecstatic and wonderful, and this particular eclipse does suggest just that type of energy, where it comes to your health, where it comes to the workplace as well. So good developments taking place there. It's a good time to have a checkup as well and just get some good news. It's a good time to think about how you're doing your work, how efficient you are, how productive you are. Do you like what you're doing? What could you do that could feel happier, more rewarding? How could you do things differently to feel like you're accessing greater creativity? All of that really good with this eclipse. What we have happening just days after the eclipse is Mars ending shadow. So if you think back, since early this year, Mars has been in shadow and then went retro and then went in shadow, right? So Mars has been in Mars retro season. I did a special horoscope about this. You may want to have a look at that again on my YouTube channel. But having said all that, there is a lot of promise here and a lot of momentum here. A real sense that things can move and come to a conclusion so that you can get whatever lesson Mars has been trying to bless your life with, as Mars has been moving through two different signs representing two different areas of life. So Mars has been moving through areas of life that have to do with, on the one hand, there was siblings, cousins, neighbors, right? So you've dealt with that, that's done. But now it's more about home and what's happening at home and where you live. Do you like where you live? What needs to change? This also has to do with family and family of origin in particular, your living space, who you live with, buying, selling, redecorating, all of that part of this Mars retro season. So now things sort of come to a conclusion where you get some of the learning, you get some of the lessons, and you get a greater understanding of what this time has been meant to teach you. Now, I'll tell you, part of this has been about being comfortable. Comfortable in your own skin, understanding what you need to be comfortable, understanding what it means to be a parent, part of it, but also what it means and how you understand your past, how you understand your parents as well. All of that is covered under this energy. Where it applies, if there has been a matter of concern regarding a parent of yours, this is where the final kind of news can come through for you. Okay, so the final decisions, the final news can come through. Thankfully, we have got a new moon early this month that is speaking in harmony with Saturn in this very bottom part of your sky, which can bring some really good news and a fresh start around those areas as well. Speaking of this new moon, right out of the gate, early in the month, we've got a new moon happening, and it's happening in the sign just before yours. Really important because it's about clearing the way for the new and surprising and wonderful that is set to come up for you next month. So take this time seriously. There is going to be an element here again of releasing bad habits can be part of this. Your dreams are going to reveal a whole lot to you, so do document your dreams. I remember once somebody wrote to me and said, you know, why do astrologers always talk about dreams and stuff? Well, it's because a lot of astrology deals with archetypes, right? We're talking about a universal language and universal experiences that we go through. And one way that we are able to interact with archetypes more readily is through our dreams, because our own defenses are down and our subconscious can speak to us that much more clearly. We understand who we are, what we really want, what we really believe, and what it is that we truly desire to do or are meant to do. So all of that can show up in the dream space, in your dream time. So I would encourage you to pay attention to your dreams early in the month, because they will point the way to greater stability, greater strength within you, right? In your own comfort, matters of home as well. So answers can just pop up there that really make a big difference. And also it is about releasing and clearing energy. As I said, for the new and amazing coming up for you. What I love about this month for you is that you are beginning an adventure, a grand adventure. Lots of things are going to change, are going to be changing for the better, and lots of things that you need to come to a close are also coming to a close now. You're starting to understand how strong a ground you stand on, and that there's something within you that you can trust, that you can be at ease within yourself. From that place of self-knowing, you are just about ready to take off in some wonderful and fun new chapters of your life.